There was hardly a shortage of news coming out of this year's SummerSlam show on August 19th at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. It took 3 years and 5 months after the plan to coronate Roman Reigns as the company's main champion by beating the guy who ended the streak, Brock Lesnar. On top of that, Seth Rollins. You were at this one?
Yeah, I was there with Ramon.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. On top of that, Seth Rollins defeated Dolph Ziggler to win the Intercontinental title. The New Day won the SmackDown Tag Team Championships from the Bludgeon Brothers, your favorite team and mine.
And we were there when they won those titles, so that was miserable.
Oh, yeah. Charlotte Flair won the SmackDown Women's Championship from Carmella and Becky Lynch in a triple threat. Is that the one where Becky, lost it on Charlotte?
Yes, and she, quote, turned heel, but we cheered the hell out of it, so.
Yeah, she turned heel and got the biggest ovation of the night. I love it. Samoa Joe.
It's almost as bad as when Roderick Strong turned on Pete Dunne. Remember that in New Orleans?
Oh my gosh, yeah. You and I were going nuts.
Yeah, it's like, why? This is a heel turn? Because I don't feel it.
Right. Yeah. Samoa Joe defeated WWE champion AJ Styles via disqualification. Wasn't that the one where he said something about AJ's wife and AJ jumped him and started beating the hell out? Yeah. Shinsuke Nakamura retained the U.S. title over Jeff Hardy. And Ronda Rousey won the Raw Women's title against Alexa Bliss. Clearly match of the night. But anyway.
It wasn't that bad, actually, to be fair.
Yeah, no. I dug it for what it was. It made sense. I'll say that. The first NXT United Kingdom Women's Champion was crowned at television tapings in Birmingham, England. It was Rhea Ripley. And she's come quite a ways since
She gone on
that.
Too.
Yeah. It is not official at this point, but it's rumored that WWE's next show in Saudi Arabia will be on Friday, November the 2nd, according to PW Insider. That would be Crown Jewel. This was the second show they did in Saudi Arabia after the greatest Royal Rumble. This was the one where Hulk Hogan returned to WWE programming after his long banishment. And this was also the one where they couldn't say the words Saudi Arabia. It was the Crown Jewel. We are here in the Crown Jewel.
Didn't they say the name of the city?
Riyadh.
Riyadh.
Riyadh in the Crown Jewel. I'm like, what? This whole event was just a booty.
What happened in that one again?
I was just about to ask you. Do you remember one freaking match off that card?
I don't really remember any. I remember some of the main events, but not in any chronological order, just because I don't watch those events for the most part. I remember The Fiend winning the Universal title. I remember the Goldberg-Undertaker match. The Royal Rumble. Yeah. That's about it.
I think this might...
This might have been the Undertaker and Kane against Michaels and Triple H, maybe.
Yeah, that was it. Well, maybe.
Oh, there's another reason to forget it.
I don't know. So, Super Showdown, I think that was the one with the Best in the World tournament thing that was a joke. But, yeah, other than that, man, these shows were horrible. And the only good thing about this pandemic is right now they cannot do any more Saudi Arabia shows. I mean, if we have to look at one thing positively, I guess that's it, right?
Sure.
We're on the march to WWE Evolution and building the pay-per-view during this time period. Uncle Dave writes that in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that while the October 28th all-women's pay-per-view is still expected to sell out, quote, it's not a hot ticket at all. It's not a flop, but it's definitely weaker than probably any WWE pay-per-view in a long time.
Oh, well, he says it.
It did take a long time to sell out, from what I had
Did it sell out?
read. Yeah, I think it did.
That's all that matters.
Didn't they go to the small arena in New York, like the one on Long Island or whatever?
Yeah, but that's a staple of theirs. I mean, they held SummerSlam 02, the greatest SummerSlam ever there, so I don't think it's necessarily a bad arena, so.
No, it's just that's not their go-to. Because I don't know if Yeah, I think that was their original plan, was to go there because they weren't so sure. And they were like, well, we don't want to have it in a big arena and look stupid if it doesn't sell out, which
Well, it
is a
still
good game
holds
plan.
15,000. It's not like it's a small arena. They do hockey games there, or did hockey games there.
Right, yeah.
So,
I mean, it's not like a broom closet.
It's not like it's like the Cow Palace or something, so.
Yeah.
I think it's Uncle Dave just putting over his narrative again. Whatever.
I will say it does. I don't know about you, but I think it speaks a little bit to say that they've never done a sequel to it. And that's not really been a big talking point about doing a sequel either.
I think it'll come.
Yeah. I don't know if it, like, I think it was fine on its own. Like, I don't know. It was very historic. It had some good stuff on it. I dug the show as a whole. I don't know if it's kind of like ECW's One Night Stand. It's like you do one, it's great. You do two, it's still okay. Past that, it's like, why? But especially when we have the women stealing the show every week on Raw and SmackDown, and even sometimes on NXT. So it's not like, well, we need this all women's pay-per-view to really make women matter. It's like,
well, I think that was part of the appeal. It was first time ever.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever said it was going to be a running thing. So.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know how the fans are, Greg. Well, I say fans. I say fans. I mean marks, not the main event marks, but marquee marks. Not the kind with Funky Bunch either. All right, moving on.
Man, you just said a load right there.
Well, you said load, and I said Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, so you are correct, sir.
Good grief. Or good brief.
Good Lord. Moving on.
Moving on.